Okay, so with the relatively diminished headroom here, if I tarp this off, then I'm going to be, there's just not going to be a lot of room to get in and out of the companionway because the tarp would probably necessarily come straight down here unless I erect some sort of other type of setup. And I thought about it, but anyways, what I'm getting at is that I'm just going to go ahead and open up these two last dead lights so that I can get those resealed, and I should be able to do that before I leave here this weekend, and then that way I really don't have to tarp this over anymore. At least that's the idea. And one last thing, I guess someone else along the way put this in to provide access for the electrical coming down from the mast. Here's the mast base and all the nastiness that's in there. But regardless, it goes down here, and even with this cap, it leaks. So I'm going to probably pull this off and reseal this as well while I've got the tube of 3M 4000 out. Okay, we're going to start with the dead light that still leaks, and this is the one over where I sleep here in the salon, if you can call it that. And I just got this rigged up here, pair of vice grips once again. And so we'll just go one by one. We'll take them all out. We'll clean up these frames and try to put it back together. Shouldn't be too much to clean it up though. I don't think they used any silicone, which is nice. I'm not sure exactly what this is. I kind of like it because it's still kind of puttyish. It's still kind of sticky. It does give. There is some stretch to it, but it seems like it also is coming off relatively easy. So. It's almost like brand new, isn't it? Yeah, alright, maybe not. But I don't want to buy brand new Lexan with plexiglass right now. It's too expensive, and this is an experiment to keep the boat watertight. So let's see how that goes. Next up. Got some denatured alcohol right here, and that seems to be cleaning up whatever the last sealer used. The denatured alcohol seems to be cleaning it up pretty easy. Trying to get these things clean so that they will seal once again with the 3M 4200 I'm using. Now, I don't know how the 3M 4200 is going to fare over the long haul, but please, if you're going to tackle this kind of a job, don't use silicone and don't use 5200 by 3M. The 5200 is permanent. It may seal for a while, but once it fails, and it will fail, you will have just a horrible, horrible time trying to get pieces apart so you can re-seal. And the silicone also fails after a while, and the problem with it is that nothing sticks to it, and it's so hard to remove. Something like this, the denatured alcohol, acetone, typical cleaners, nothing, and it doesn't come off in big pieces. It comes off in just the finest little, and you just got to scrape and scrape and scrape. But don't use silicone. we're getting there. These are nitrile gloves, and I don't think they work with denatured alcohol either. Unfortunately, I don't have any latex gloves with me, so this is, you know, they're not going to, these bolts and hardware are not going to get perfect, not going to become perfect, but knock some of this old stuff off. Okay, well here's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and put just a small bead of this U3M 4000 around the outside, around the bolt holes here on this frame, and then I'm going to bolt it, and then I'm going to put it in place temporarily and hold it there with a couple of these bolts. And then once it's in place on the other side, I can put a bead around the plexiglass and put that in, and then one by one I think I can probably put the other plate in, rather than trying to put it all in at once from the outside. I don't think it's going to work. So I don't know if you can see that, but I just squished the white so it would squeeze out a little bit. And yeah, I've been working on this for, I don't know, this is probably 3.5 hours now or something, just for this one port light. Man, oh man. It's this time of day that's starting to get late in the day for me. A little less patient. Okay. Let's hook a few through, and we'll bring this up, and we'll put some of this on the nuts up there. Well, it's in. I didn't snug these all the way down. I just made them, well, I snugged them, but I didn't tighten them down. I'll do that tomorrow. I'm not real happy with the work. It just took me too long. This stuff skins up. This sealant that I use skins up really fast. And I just I wasn't able to manage by myself to get it all cleaned up before it will no longer wipe clean. Oh, look at that. I gotta take care of that. That's not even done. Golly. Live and learn, you know. I think it'll be sealed off okay, which is the best thing. This boat isn't pretty right now anyways, so we'll work on it. Well, I was gonna tackle this piece right here today. As I said, to reseal this, basically it's a through hull, but I don't have anything that's going to get around this. And one of the things I love about boating in general, and sailboats in particular, is the endless opportunities for improvisation. Voila, the vise turned upside down. Okay, I got that through hole out. I marred it up pretty good with a pair of channel locks. Inside the through hull there are supposed to be 2 tabs. You can see that there's one right there, but the other one someone ground off. Wasn't me. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I didn't really have a tool for it anyways. But there would have been something to slide in there to hold it in place while I unscrewed the top nut. Regardless, it's off. I'll take a Dremel to this to clean it up. Once it's all back in place, it's not a big deal. But now at least I can go in and I can clean up this. I didn't show anything of it, but I took this deadlight out today and resealed that. Okay, I got it pretty well cleaned up. The cool thing is that these decks are cored with masonite, and even the masonite here looks like it's still pretty good shape. So anyways, that's encouraging. Okay, so I've got everything back together, and I was going to use butyl tape for this project, but I decided against it and used the 3M 4000 instead. And the reason was I wanted to make sure I had some sealant on these threads, and the butyl tape simply wasn't going to be satisfactory for that. I maybe could have worked something out, but I didn't want to mess with that, so I used the 4000 sealant on the underside of the mushroom, just a little bead, and then on the lower part of the threads for the mushroom, and then around where this collar nut hits the deck. And so you see a little squeeze out over there. And I didn't torque it down. I didn't tighten this down a whole heck of a lot. I did tighten it down because I don't want it to the sealant to cure and then to break that seal by tightening it down even more. So I did tighten it down snug, pretty snug, but I'm just going to leave it that way, and it should be okay for its intended purpose. Okay, next on the lineup is the Ford port light. This is the starboard side. This one I changed out the gasket, or the rubber gasket here, but it still leaks, and I don't think it's the gasket. I think it's the plate. This right here, see, there's a I don't know if you can see that or not, but someone put a washer on it. I'm pretty sure that this whole thing needs to be rebedded, and this is this particular screw is stripped. And oh, I see, because it's broken. Actually, the whole thing is cracked right there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off, pull the starboard side off, and see what I can see. Yeah, doesn't leak bad, but it leaks enough. Check this out. So this is the screw that they used for that broken area. Very nice. And here's what they should have been using: an actual machine screw. They used a wood screw. Okay, well, I finally got the glass out anyways. Well, it's still attached to this frame here. Let's see. Okay, well, they used plenty of whatever they wanted to use there. I'll clean it up and see if we can do something about this. Well, I just put the smallest bead on of that UV 4000, and again, I didn't get it wiped up in time. It's crazy. I gotta find out. But the part of the problem here, I'm just gonna let it set, but the problem is that that cracked piece isn't even flat, and I didn't realize what kind of a role that would play. There's just no screws in it to make, or enough screws in it to make it flat. So I'm gonna leave it sit and then see what happens. So.